The Fresh Market Cart. This is presented by myself, Anita Walker. This is my strategic plan. U.S. children attend school for at least 6 hours per day, 180 days per year. During this time, students have access to foods and beverages in multiple venues across campus. Competitive foods include foods that are available during meal times that are in addition to or outside of the federal school meal programs. Competitive foods and beverages tend to be high in added sugars, fat, and sodium. The increase in the availability of these foods is estimated to account for 1/5 increase in body mass index observed in adolescents during the past 10 years. Schools must address these competitive foods. The goal of this strategic plan is to decrease the amount of fat and sugar, foods and beverages that are of minimal nutritional value offered as competitive foods in schools and replace them with adolescent appealing, healthier, nutrient dense options that would be provided by whole food grocery store vendors and restaurant contractors. This would be achieved through the use of a fresh market cart. The fresh market cart would contain a variety of fresh select items offered on a daily basis for students to purchase. The cart would offer local fresh produce as well as fresh treats and beverages that meet the nutrient requirements that go along with those of the federally funded school lunch programs and would be prepared for the students on the spot by the participating vendors. Items such as smoothies, fresh squeezed juices, yogurt treats with fruit and nut toppings, fresh popped popcorn without butter, hummus, and whole grain breads are all examples of items that would be available to the students for purchase from the fresh market cart. All vending machines and other competitive foods would be removed from the schools. Over 30% of children and teens who live in the United States are overweight or obese. Studies have demonstrated that health behaviors as a child can affect health outcomes as an adult. Children are showing signs of chronic conditions such as type 2 diabetes, hypertension, and other problems once only seen largely in adults. Obesity has also been linked to cognitive defects beginning in childhood and continuing across the lifespan. Back in 1946, Congress passed the National School Lunch Program. The National School Lunch Program is administered through the Food and Nutrition Service branch of the USDA, and it functions to provide meals containing about 1/3 of the recommended daily allowances of essential nutrients to students. The National School Lunch Program stipulates that meals must conform to the dietary guidelines for Americans, which includes standards for total fat, which is about 30%, saturated fat, which is about 10% or less, as well as proteins, vitamin A, vitamin C, iron, calcium, and other calories. In 1969, budgeting issues increased, allowing for the deregulation of this program, and schools contracted with private food service companies in an attempt to reduce the costs. This allowed for the sale of competitive foods, foods of minimal nutritional value, soft drinks, sports drinks, all in vending machines and on snack carts. According to the CDC in 2000, nearly 1 in 5 schools, 20% in America, had brand name fast food services operating on campus. Results from the School and Health Policies Program and Study in 2006 revealed that items such as soda was sold in about 77% of high schools, and up to 61% of high schools sold cookies, crackers, pastries, salty snacks, none of which were low in fat. In 2008, it was reported that 90% of schools sold competitive foods. The target audience for this plan are high school adolescents that range typically in age of 15 to 18 years. 83% of adolescents report snacking with a mean of 1.7 snacks on any given day. Snacks account for 23 to 29% of daily food energy among adolescents. Food choices made by adolescents tend to favor foods high in sugar, sodium, and fat, and are relatively low in vitamins and minerals. Energy and nutrient requirements of adolescents include 85 grams per day of protein, 26 to 38 grams per day of fiber, 1,300 milligrams per day of calcium, and 600 international units per day of vitamin D, as well as carbohydrate intake of 45 to 65% of daily energy and 25 to 35% from fat and no more than 10% from saturated fat. For this strategic plan, two state policies from California were applicable to the goals of this proposed program. The first one, Education Code 4943.2 in 2005, it requires that all foods outside of the school programs to students on school grounds at each of the middle and high schools to be approved for compliance with nutrition standards. Food generally regarded as snacks must contain no more than 35% of calories from fat, 10% of calories from saturated fat, or 35% of sugar by weight, and no more than 250 calories per item. The other policy that applies to the strategic plan is Education Code 4943.1, 2005, which requires all beverages sold to students on school grounds be approved for compliance with beverage standards. Compliant beverages include fruit-based to vegetable-based drinks composed of no less than 50% fruit and vegetable juice and with no added sweetener. Drinking water with no added sweeteners, plus 2% milk, 1% non-fat milk, soy milk, rice milk, and other similar non-dairy milk. For 1/2 hour before to 1/2 hour after school, only compliant beverages for middle and junior high school and high schools can be sold, which includes the above list with the addition of electrolyte replacement beverages that contain no more than 42 grams of added sweetener per 20-ounce servings. A program that currently exists and can work in connection with this strategic plan would be the Farm to School program. Farm to School programs currently connect local farms, manufacturers, and processors with school cafeterias, bringing fresh local foods into the schools. In addition to the students, school administrators, parents, teachers, and Farm to School participants, other stakeholders in this plan involved would be grocery stores and restaurants such as Trader Joe's, Jamba Juice, Robex, Yoga Berry, and True Fruit Foods, to name a few. Partnerships with these restaurants and grocery stores would be vital to make this plan successful. Contracts would be awarded to provide food and food preparers to operate the fresh market cart. Weekly and monthly food testing stations would be available to students to continue to recruit new foods and beverages for the fresh market cart. Food preparers would be responsible for preparing foods on the spot, such as blending smoothies and fruit juices and serving prepared treats. The fresh market cart would only provide snacks and beverages and would not be a substitute for the full meals provided under the National School Lunch Program. The school would offer these nutritious items at a reduced price and would only contract with companies and restaurants that offer healthy and nutritious snacks that meet the state guidelines for competitive foods. The previous contracts that were in place would not be renewed, and all vending machines would be removed from the schools. The fresh market cart would have premier items that may change on a daily, weekly, or seasonal basis, and to promote variety, different items would be offered every day. Fruits and vegetables would be offered every day on the cart in addition to the other snack items. Grocery stores and restaurants will be responsible for the creativity of nutrient-dense, teen-appealing snacks offered on the cart. The items on the cart will be pre-approved by the school lunch committee to ensure compliance with the state and school standards. Contracts will be awarded to restaurants and grocery stores based on compliance, food creativity, and cost. And a continued partnership with the Farm to School programs will be imperative for successful operation of the fresh market cart.